Hi guys, my name is Jordan Danflous. I'm the lead keeper for the guest engagement team here at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo. This here is Cooper. She's one of our ring-tailed lemurs, and we're going to read you a little bit of a story today. So today we're going to be reading The Three Little Lemurs by Erin Grope. He wrote this when he was 10. He's 13 now, and it is a little conservation tale and a little bit of an adaptation to The Three Little Pigs. Alrighty. So, once upon a time, just off the dry southeastern coast of Africa, three little lemurs were lazily about. Sitting cross-legged lotus-style, they soaked up the sun with their arms, legs, and bellies, outstretched to warm up after a chilly night. This was their routine before beginning to forage for that day's snack. Their home island was just right for them and 120 other species of lemurs. Cousins, you might say. Sunbathing was just great until they all got hungry and decided to head off on their own to find themselves a snack. They all went to their special places in the rainforest to gather their favorite treats. The first little lemur leaped hungrily from limb to limb, way up high near the sky, where every lemur knows the best fruit grows. Mmm, chirped and howled the first little lemur as he bit into his favorite sour-tasting fruit pod of the keeli tree. This is the perfect spot to stay a while, and he settled in for a nibble. Little did the first little lemur know that a big bad fire had just been released by humans from its captivity in a matchbox. It moved like a fusa, devouring the trees in its path, splitting and growing new hungry mouths at every turn. The fire roared, little lemur, let me have your keeli tree." "Not by the hair on my long hairy tail. My forest will always be free," barked the first little lemur. Little lemur leapt just in the nick of time, launching himself off through the brush to find his two brothers. The big bad fire followed along behind. Meanwhile, the second little lemur strolled along the forest floor on all fours, pausing to dance a little jig when he found a fallen mango fruit to feast upon. "Ooh, this is my lucky day," mewed and purred the second little lemur as he settled in to munch sweet liquid sunshine dribbled down his long pointed nose. Sniff, snuff, sniffs. "Oh no, I smell smoke. That must mean danger in my forest." The second little lemur wailed his alarm. "Awaa!" If his brothers were within a 10-mile radius, they would hear him and come running. Just then, along came the big bad fire, hang gliding through the tree tops like a hungry hawk. The fire roared, little lemur, let me have your mango tree." "Not by the hair on my long hairy tail. My forest will always be free." The second little lemur leapt away from the fire just in the nick of time, launching himself off through a maze of vines. The very same nose that had sensed danger led him to follow the trail of his first brother's scent. As soon as they saw each other, they went in search of their third brother. Meanwhile, after scarfed down a couple of leaves, flowers, and a fig for a snack, the third little lemur headed downward to sip water from the river. It was his tail standing straight up, waving like a striped flag, that caught the brothers' attention. Their chirps of happiness echoed through the forest, but only for a second. Suddenly, the big bad fire appeared along the rocky horizon above them, and their happy yips of reconciliation quieted to silence. The little lemurs' eyes and mouths were wide open, and their teeth were bared in faces of terror. Sounding the alarm, their grunts turned into barks as they shot down to the water's edge. Along came the big bad fire, prowling for more fuel like a fossa of flame roaring. Little lemurs, let me have your forest of trees." After a collective gulp, the three little lemurs grunted their plan to each other, grasped tails, and turned to face the fire. "Not by the hair of our very long tails. Our forest will always be free." You see? Yeah. The three little lemurs slyly taunted, "Big bad fire, if you want our forest, come on down and take it." Shooting down the ravine, the sleek, starving fire leapt toward the opposite bank of the river, where there was a large strand of keeli trees. The fire went so fast it didn't notice the shimmering water in its path. It ran smack into the river. "Psst," hissed the fire as it fizzled and died. The three little lemurs leaped in joy as they watched their foe vanquished by the water. They lived happily ever after in the dry forest near the river in the southwest coast of Madagascar. Well, the hope is that the lemurs lived happily ever after. Remember that the fate of the rainforest of Madagascar is still unknown. We have a lot of work to do to ensure that the lemurs have a place to live safely. This story is an adaptation of the tale that has been told many, many times and is a young conservationist's dream of what he wishes would be.